Traders at UBA say they expect investors to take advantage of attractive instruments at the treasury bills market amid dwindling yields as the market is set to receive 156.7 billion naira from UMA maturities this week. Dumebi Udegbunam, fixed income trader at UBA, joins me to discuss activities at the fixed income and FX space. Dumebi, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with you bringing us up to speed on market performance today. Talk to us about the action we saw at the bond and treasury markets on the yield curve.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Well, this is the first day of the week, so we've seen very quiet in market. However, we've seen a bit of bullish sentiment owing to an increase in system liquidity as we're coming from where we were the previous week. However, in general, there's been a quiet market. One of the reasons owing to that is, one, we have a bond auction coming in on the 22nd, which is Wednesday. So a lot of market participants are paying attention and trying to see, we would see what happened in the past two previous payment auctions where we saw an uptick in yield from 6.8 to 2.8 to 7.0, I beg your pardon. So market participants are emphasizing probably we might see that exact same activity play in this bond auction.
What is your outlook for liquidity projections this week? I understand there will be an UMA maturity. Talk to us about what we can expect in terms of liquidity levels.
In terms of liquidity, well, we have little inflows this week. We only have about 150 billion coming in UMA maturities and about 100 billion coming in coupon payments today and on the 23rd, which is Thursday. So we don't have a lot of system. There are a lot of inflows coming in, so the market might be still a bit tight with system liquidity.
How would you describe investor strategy in terms of how they're playing the yield curve, both the treasuries and the bond market? Given the current environment, given inflation, all those indicators?
Well, we've seen 5 consecutive drops in inflation right now. We're at 7.01, so that's a positive for us right now. And with the current where rates are currently in the market, we've seen a slight hinge up in rates by about 50 basis points on the treasury bill side. On the bond side also, the exact same thing. If you do a month-to-month average movement, we've seen rates go as high as 13.2 on the long end of the curve. So with this upward tick in rates, investors would be interested and attractive to go into our market more.
Let's talk about the FX market, naira movement versus the dollar this week. You've obviously been following developments around the naira and CBN policy towards the currency, but talk to us about liquidity levels at the INE window, what we can expect this week at the NAFEX and both the NAFEX and INE window, 410, 411. Should we expect that level to be maintained this week?
Yeah, most definitely we expect the levels at the INE window to be maintained owing to wanting the CBN constant pump in FX into that market. They've increased their supply in the market since the announcement in the July MPC by about 200%. So we've seen a lot of inflows by the CBN into that market. Hence, we've seen the stability of rates in the INE window, hovering around 410, 411.
Well, speaking about the MPC, excuse me, the last MPC meeting, did the investors at the market get any comfort from many of the comments made by the CBN? What are the takeaways for the market in terms of direction, maybe even especially around FX?
Well, basically, he spoke about the general view of where we see our growth outlook, hence the reason why they've maintained, so to see whether if all the different measures put in place would actually take into cognizance in the next Q2, in the next GDP data that come out. In terms of FX, the CBN governor rightly said the rates that we recognize and how they are making it a conscious effort to pump money in the INE window to maintain rates.
Now, how realistically, for the, I believe it's an FX rate at 410, 411, realistically, how much, to what extent can the naira hold that level against the dollar? If it doesn't, what would be the factors that would spur a movement, either weak, either up or down?
Well, like I've always earlier said, the CBN's prime goal or major objective is price stability, which he attacked or explained tremendously in his call on Friday. So if you see where the benchmark budget for oil price was at 41, currently oil price is trading at 74, with the euro bond also to be issued by October to expect a large increase in dollar inflow. So yes, it's possible, and we are optimistic of the maintenance of where we see rates are currently at the I&E window.